Federal prosecutor Brett Tolman served as counsel to the Senate Judiciary Committee. He joins us now. Good morning, Brett. On this, there are many things that Rep. Comer outlines. The two that I highlighted that I think are most important in this conversation is that Hunter actually called the D.C. regarding the Ukrainian prosecutors. So that kind of ties Joe Biden's actions to Hunter's interest. And then the idea that Hunter did refer to Joe Biden as my guy, and we can corroborate that with some of the stuff on a laptop. My question to you, having served on kind of both sides of this, at what point does the Justice Department look at what Congress is finding and says, you know what, we should open an investigation here?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It's actually one of those questions you ask yourself multiple times right now. Why is the Department of Justice leaving such an important investigation to perhaps our most clumsy, although well-intended, investigative tool, that being a committee in Congress?
Exactly.
The Department of Justice could have made these connections and connected the dots so quickly in a case like this. This was not just a case of somebody, some citizen that is, powerful or a lobbyist. This is the Vice President of the United States getting on calls with foreign leaders in order to sell to them access and sell to them capability of helping them when they get in trouble. And what happened? They ended up trying to use the Vice President to help them.
You know, President Trump was investigated by his own Department of Justice while he was president for making a phone call to Ukraine, or by Democrats and eventually the Department of Justice, and we have charges coming against him now. Is there a double standard here, or is this a difference in evidence?
Yeah, the double standard is so stark that there are many of us who served in the Department of Justice for many years on both sides of the political aisle that are scratching our heads and saying, what happened to the Department of Justice? This is instead a department who wants to root out corruption despite the political party that's committing it. And a Department of Justice who's actually running a protection racket to keep from the public the details of what might be one of the most corrupt episodes in the history of this country. And when I say that, I don't say it lightly. This would be a case that you presented to a grand jury, and they would decide the case and bring an indictment within minutes. Not days, not hours. This would be something that they see every day in other, corruption cases, fraud cases. This is a pay-to-play scheme that violates all kinds of U.S. laws.
Yeah, I think it is. Most objective view, it's cause for concern and at least should rate an investigation. Brett Tolman, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.